It's hard to believe that Refrigerant Management Canada has been in operation for 16 successful years. As most of you know, the program was developed by HRAI for the purpose of collecting and destroying ozone-depleting refrigerants in Canada. Yet, despite its long run, there are still a lot of misconceptions about the program. In fact, we've heard some pretty interesting opinions and perspectives over the years. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to run through some of them and do our best to separate fact from fiction. So listen in and decide for yourself just how well you understand this groundbreaking environmental initiative, or where you just might need to recalibrate some of your opinions. Here we go.
Refrigerant Management Canada is just a small program that barely makes a dent when it comes to protecting the environment.
The fact is, over 3.4 million kilograms of surplus refrigerant has been collected and destroyed since RMC was launched 16 years ago. That's a lot of surplus refrigerant. The impact of this on the environment has been huge. The RMC program has directly reduced ozone emissions by over 470,000 tons of carbon dioxide equivalents and greenhouse gas emissions by more than 100 megatons. To put it in perspective, that's equivalent to removing over 100,000 cars from our roads for a year, or recycling over 150,000 tons of waste. The truth is, thanks to RMC, we've made a significant contribution in reducing ozone and greenhouse gas emissions. We're very proud of our record, and you, as an industry, should be as well.
RMC is just another expensive environmental program that the HVACR industry can't afford.
That's fiction. In fact, the program doesn't cost the HVACR industry anything. Not one single penny. On the contrary, from the initial collection of surplus refrigerant through to its final destruction, the entire RMC program is covered entirely by the end user. So without costing you a penny, RMC manages to provide you with an easy, convenient, and safe way to dispose of your surplus refrigerant. That's a great deal by anyone's standards.
Refrigerant Management Canada was created by the industry for the industry.
That one is a fact, one that we as an industry are very proud of. It started in the mid-90s when, as a signatory to the Montreal Protocol, Canada had to develop a plan to manage ozone-depleting substances still being used. Instead of waiting for the government to regulate a solution for our industry, HRAI decided to lead the charge. It immediately took steps to develop an HVACR industry-made solution. That solution was Refrigerant Management Canada. It launched in 2000 and has been safely destroying surplus refrigerants ever since. Talk about a made-in-Canada solution.
A program like RMC must get loads of funding from the government.
This is a popular misconception, but the fact is, RMC receives no funding from any level of government, federal or provincial. As already mentioned, the RMC program is funded solely by the end user. As such, funding for the RMC program is directly dependent on the volume of HCFC refrigerants imported into Canada. When the numbers drop, so do the program's revenues. The good news is that, thanks to the recent publication of the Pollution Prevention Plan, known as the P2 Plan, RMC will soon start accepting HFCs. This marks a major turning point and will significantly strengthen the contributions RMC is making to safeguarding our planet. The P2 plan will rejuvenate the program's operation by extending its reach and allowing it to grow and adapt to the changing environmental landscape, both from a regulatory and industry perspective. It will also bolster its reputation as a bona fide environmental organization.
RMC is the first program of its kind anywhere in North America.
Yes, indeed, this is true. And not only is RMC the first industry program to be developed on the continent for the destruction of ozone-depleting refrigerants, it remains the only such program in existence to this day. The US has yet to figure out how to implement a similar program. So impressive is the RMC program that it's even been recognized in the US for its leadership in eliminating ozone-depleting substances. In 2007, it received the Best of the Best Stratospheric Ozone Protection Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
With its high environmental levy, the program must be swimming in money.
Wouldn't that be nice? In reality, the RMC fund is healthy, but far from rich. In fact, there have been years when the program was on the brink of closure. Why? For a number of reasons, but key among them was that while high volumes of refrigerant were entering the program, revenues were reduced, primarily due to the government-mandated phase-down of HCFC refrigerants. To put all this into perspective, as of this past June, RMC had collected more than $56 million in levies and destroyed over 3.4 million kilograms of surplus refrigerant. That comes out to a cost of $16.47 per kilogram, or $7.46 per pound. This may seem high, but consider all that this covers: program administration, transportation from the wholesaler to the collection service provider, testing, cylinder handling, storage, bulking, leasing, and maintenance of the ISO tanks, transportation to the disposal facility, and, finally, destruction of the refrigerant. On top of that, the program needs to maintain a $2.2 million contingency fund to ensure it can destroy all refrigerant in the system at any given time. It all adds up.
The RMC program is overkill. It's not really required.
On the contrary, all provinces in Canada, with the exception of Nova Scotia, have regulations mandating the handling of halocarbon refrigerants, not just ozone-depleting substances, but all refrigerants. Most regulations require the seller to take back the refrigerant and store it till they can deliver it to a service provider who can recycle, convert, or destroy it. Some provinces, like British Columbia, take things a step further and call for the seller to be part of a stewardship program, while Quebec mandates that CFCs be destroyed within 12 months of receipt. But aside from the regulatory requirements, I think we can all agree that it's just the right thing to do for the environment, and we, as an industry, should be taking the lead. Thanks to Refrigerant Management Canada, that's exactly what we're doing, and will continue doing in the years to come. So, did you learn anything new? We certainly hope so. As we've already said, RMC is a program developed for the industry by the industry. For that reason, it's important to us that everyone in the HVACR industry understands what we do, and that no one gets sidelined by common misconceptions. So no, we don't get any government funding. The program doesn't cost the industry a penny, and we're most certainly not rich. But we are the only program of its kind in North America. And yes, we are making an impact, a strong impact. As an industry, we are helping save the planet for our children, our children's children, and our great-grandchildren. And who doesn't want to be a part of that? What's most exciting right now is that the P2 plan will breathe new lifeblood into RMC. We're already busy preparing for the implementation of the P2 plan, which we expect to launch later this year or early next. It's safe to say that while RMC has accomplished much in the last 16 years, we are revved up to do even more moving forward. Thank you for taking the time to learn about RMC. What we've provided here is just a tiny glimpse into what we do. If you'd like to learn more, please get in touch. We're just a phone call away and would love to hear from you.